Well, hello everyone in Prairie Rose and beyond. We are excited to invite you to our final June digital skills challenge for students. And so today we are going to be taking a dive into Canva. And so we're going to be creating a great year-end item in Canva. I'm Mrs. Cannikins. I'm one of your instructional coaches, and I'm excited that we have Mrs. Nixdorf, our
Hello.
Prairie Rose Canva super expert, and she is going to take us into an activity with Canva. So, Mrs. Nixdorf, why don't we just dive right in and get started? I will keep posting that link in the chat so that others can join us, and we'll want to also put that in the YouTube link below. So you go ahead, you can I'll stop sharing and you can.
Okay, so welcome everyone. The link is a bit.ly, so it's bit.ly/, all lowercase, Canva reflect 25. It will be linked below, and I think we might send it out in an email later to our Prairie Rose friends. So when you go ahead and click on that link, you're going to see a window, and I'm just going to share my screen here. You just give me a little second here. Okay. I need to make sure I share the right one this time. I think I'll. It's going to come up and look like this. Are you seeing a Canva template window?
We see your Canva template, yes.
Okay, there we go. And so we're going to click on View or Create Copy. And students, if this is the first time you've been in Canva for a while, it might prompt you to sign in first. So make sure that you click on Sign in with Google and then follow all the steps using your name. And then you can go ahead and click on Open in Editor. All right. So friends, we're going to work through a few little steps here today to complete a bit of an end of year reflection about your school year. So the first thing that we're going to do when this fully loads, I'm going to show you that down here on the bottom of your screen, you have a slider tool to zoom in. And so sometimes it's helpful if you're having a hard time seeing what you're working on, you can use this slider tool to make it a little bit bigger to see what we're working on. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to do is click up here where it says copy of student end of year reflection, and we're going to rename this project. So you're going to type in your first and last name and then leave the rest of the back half. So it should say student end of year reflection. You can hit enter. And then you're going to click on this plus sign and you're going to type in your teacher's name. So today I'm going to put Mrs. Cannikins as my teacher, and I'm going to share this design with her. So you make sure, students, that you're adding the plus and you're going to share your teacher's name.
And just a note for the teachers, if you're walking around there, they see their icon at the top of the page if it's shared with them, if they're wanting just to check. Mrs. Nixdorf?
Sorry, just give me a second here. All right. So teachers, you should get a bunch of notifications once students have shared this project with you. So it'll actually probably show up either in your email, or if you're on your Canva homepage, your bell will start to get a bunch of red dots added to it for notifications. Okay, so students, we're going to click now that we've named our project. So we've renamed copy of and replaced that with our name. We've clicked on the plus and we've typed our teacher's name in. And so we've added them as the editor. Today, Mrs. Cannikins will be my teacher. I'm going to start here with this box that says me, and I'm going to just double click inside. And you'll see that the word me has now turned highlighted, and I'm going to replace that with my first name. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is put our picture inside of this frame. But to do that, we need to open our camera tool. And so students, on your Chromebooks, on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, you should have a little circle. If you click on that circle and you type in the word camera, the camera tool should pop up.
Mrs.
And we
Nixdorf,
want, yes.
just so you know, we're not seeing your pop-ups.
Okay, that's interesting. Let's
So
see if I can fix that.
I think if you're just sharing the tab, that might be why. So if you want to pop your Canva presentation into a new window, like just pull it into a new window and then share that
Oh, I
with
thought
it.
I clicked entire screen. So let's try this. Okay, so are you seeing pop-ups now?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so the camera window should open up. This time now it won't let me do anything because we've got a bunch of things happening. So let's try this. I'm going to see if maybe we can get this to work on this device, friends.
So Mrs. Nixdorf's camera might not work because her camera is being used for the Google Meet.
It's busy.
So yours should work. Your camera should work. And so
once your camera has opened, you should be able to just take a picture of yourself. You want to take your best smiling face.
Mrs. Nixdorf, we aren't seeing your screen right now.
I realize that. I was trying to take a picture, but it won't even let me take a picture if I'm not sharing. It's just too busy. Okay. I was hoping I could at least get the picture part done. Okay. Let's see if I can find my own face in here. Oh, we'll get rid of this. Okay. So we have a little technical difficulty, Mrs. Cannikins. I'm going to just take one quick second here and try to get a picture taken before I can move any further here. So friends, while you're waiting, you need to make sure that you have opened our template, you have changed the file name, you've shared with your teacher, and you've gone ahead and changed me to your name. And then you're going to be taking a picture using your camera app. You shouldn't have any technical difficulties because you're not in a call right now. Okay, here we go. Once you have your picture taken, you should be able to right-click on your image. I'm just going to see, maybe this guy's going to let me work here. Okay, are we seeing that? Oh. I think maybe you have to give me permission here, Mrs. Cannikins, to share from the other device. Are you seeing that?
Did that help? I'm only seeing one of your devices. So
Yeah, I see that. Okay, maybe I'm not in this.
I think if we're just still working on the camera, let's just have classes. If you've had your camera working and you're able to take a picture, why don't we have your teacher just let us know, thumbs up, we've got our pictures working. And sometimes when our cameras are so busy because they're doing a video, they can't do a photo too, and that's okay. So we would love it. We would love to know if you are getting that picture already in your template. Oh, Miss Weimer's class says pictures are in, so we can just keep on going, Mrs. Nixdorf.
Okay, perfect. Now, when they say they're in, are they taken or have they already figured out how to add them into the project? That's the question.
Well, I know that you can just grab a photo of a cute puppy or a kitty and show us how to do it that way. So we'll see.
Okay. There we go. Okay.
We can see you. You've got a bit of a scratchy mic there on that.
There we go. That should fix the problem. Okay.
Pictures are taken, but not on Canva, Miss Westner.
That's what I thought. So I'm trying to find the share screen here so I can show you how to get them there. Here we go. Okay, so Mrs. Cannikins, you might need to give permission to my friend here to share their screen. There we are. Okay, so we're going to go to our camera app. So students, you should have your camera open here. And once you've taken the picture, you should see a little circle in the bottom right-hand corner. If you just double click, that's going to open up our gallery. And when that loads and you see your nice picture of yourself, you should be able to two-finger click and click on copy image. So we're not going to save it. We'll just copy that image. And my friend over here is a little delayed in getting his template open. So just bear with us, all these technical things. And then, friends, in your project, you should be able to use a keyboard shortcut, Control V, which will drop that picture right into our project. So again, we were on our camera app, and the bottom right-hand corner, there was the little circle. You could double click it so you open up the gallery, two-finger click or right-click to get your image to pop up, to click on Copy Image. And then head into your Canva project, and you're going to use the keyboard shortcut Control V to just drop that picture right into our project. Now I want to show you something. So friends, just bear with us for this technical delay. Probably you took your picture in a classroom with a whole bunch of things in the background. Maybe your friends, maybe the wall, maybe the window, maybe a bulletin board. So we're going to use a tool today in Canva that removes the background. And so then it's just going to be you that's present in that picture. It's taking quite a long time to load here, friends. Try one more time here. It maybe forgot my picture waiting so long.
So Mrs. Nixdorf is right-clicking or two-finger clicking, clicking copy, and then Control V to paste. Mrs. Nixdorf, I think it might also be that the Chromebook is struggling with the camera.
It sure is having a hard time.
So I would suggest that maybe we just go back to your other computer and find a photo from the stock photos and then show us the magic trick that way.
Okay, we'll try that. Okay, here we go. Let's see if this is going to work. Okay, I think you can see my screen working now.
We have your screen.
Well, I don't know if she's going to like this, but we're going to steal Mrs. Yeast. I think some students there might know her. Okay, so friends, once you've dropped your picture into your project.
If you're seeing Mrs. Yeast's lovely face, we're not yet.
Oh, so there's a delay in tech.
Well, I think we still see, this is the one that you haven't changed. So this might still be Testy's screen. Is that possible?
Oh, here we go. Let's try something else then. Okay.
Because this one still says student end of year, and I know you changed. There we go.
There we are. Okay. Now we're cooking. Okay, so friends, we're going to click on our picture so you can see that there is a purple background to it. Can you see that purple line all the way around that picture? And then I'm going to click in this toolbar up at the top where it says BG Remover. So I'm going to click there and it's just going to do its magic. So you can see now we see just Mrs. East and there's no background. Now here's the really fun part about getting our picture perfectly sized into that box below our name. The purple box is still around the picture. We're going to click and we're going to drag it up until you see it sort of snap into place. So could you see that, friends? I'm going to do that again. I'm just going to click inside that picture and I'm going to drag it up until it snaps into that frame. Now you might see if I make this a little bigger here, we've kind of cut Mrs. Yeast's head off. So in order to crop it differently, I'm just going to double click inside the middle of that picture and I can drag it up and down or back and forth until I got it kind of where I like it. And I don't mind if her face is a little bit over the name tag there. There we go. How's that? We're looking okay there. Sorry about all the technical difficulty, friends. Okay, let's move on to adding to our boxes. So we have 4 different boxes that we're going to fill today with words and elements that reflect our learning and our growth, our futures, things we're looking forward to, and things that we'd like to celebrate in this school year. Now, friends, you might have seen while we were getting set up that there's a second page. And if you just scroll down here to the second page, you'll see that we've started a bit of a word list if you're stuck and can't think about some of the things that you'd like to talk about. All right, so we have some word boxes added to each of these 4 squares. And these words, or these templates, I should say, come from over here in this text spot. So when you click on text, we probably almost always use these text boxes at the top that are pretty standard. But if you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see that there's special font combinations and words combinations that you can use that are sort of pre-formatted to be sort of stand out and neat. So you'll see some of these words are, I forget what we call this, Mrs. Cannikins, is it like glowing, or we've got some outlines. Neon, yeah, exactly. And so, friends, what we can do is we can double click inside of each of these boxes and start adding some words that reflect ourselves. Now, if they're too big, we can always drag from the corner up to make it smaller or down to make it bigger. We can pull from the middle and make the box itself longer so that it all fits in one row. And then we can make it smaller or larger. And here's what else we can do. We can click up here in our toolbar where you see the letter A and a color below it. And we can actually change the font color. So maybe I don't really love the blue with the green background. Maybe I'd rather have it be orange. Let's see what happens there. I don't know why that didn't work. Let's try it again. There we go. So we can change it to be orange, but I don't really like that background shadow being that green color. So I could check this effects box and scroll down on the left-hand side from that window that popped up, and I can change that background color. So let's make it blue. Oh, there we go. All right. So again, friends, you're welcome to come down here to the bottom, second page, and use some of these words. If you wanted, you can even click inside these boxes. Maybe it's not going to work. Technology today is not our friend. And go ahead and start adding some words about your learning that you'd like to share as a reflection. All right. The second part of this that you can do is add some elements to work with the words you've got on your page. So we can click on this Elements tab, and I'm going to search for fractions. Ooh, interesting. We've got pictures to represent the pie graph, pretty standard fraction kind of an image. We can choose any of these we want to put in with our collection page. Okay. Oops.
So if you're a fact master, you could find all sorts of math elements.
Ooh, digital citizenship. Look at this one here. So when we're reflecting about our learning, friends, we're sort of thinking about some of the things that we've really accomplished this year in terms of those standout kinds of things that you think that you've covered this school year. When we talk about growth, that might be some areas where you're really proud of the accomplishments you've made in some areas, like maybe your reading level improved. Maybe your, what can you think of, Mrs. Cannikins? What would really show growth in a school year? Oh,
Well, maybe.
How about this one?
Oh, that's a word that means growth. Maybe in phys ed, you used to only be able to run around the gym one time during warm up, and now you can do 3 times. So that would show growth. So
Oh, that's a good one. That's quite a tangible one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe you've improved the score on your spelling test.
Ooh, I like that one.
Maybe you've been keeping track of new words that, oh, you know what, maybe you have some new words. Like I might go new words, colon, and list all the great new words.
Ooh, I like that.
That I've learned.
Well, I think I'm going to add that down below, Mrs. Cannikin. So in my celebration category, I'm going to write my vocabulary. And you could absolutely add a list using the bullet points even. So what words did you say you learned this year, Mrs. Cannikins?
Did you just use the word tenacious?
No, I didn't. I used the word resilient.
Resilient, but you used a T word that I can't remember now, but I wasn't sure if all our friends would know that. So resilient is a good one. Maybe you learned flabbergasted.
Ooh, that's a good one. I wonder how I spell that. Flabbergasted.
Tangible was the word. Yes.
Say it again.
Tangible.
Oh, tangible.
That was the T word, Miss Weimer. Maybe you described that one.
Okay, well, let's add tangible to our list.
Here's how that went. I said maybe you did more laps in phys ed, and you said that's a good tangible example, which means that it is.
Oh, there we go. That's how that came to be.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, friends, you might not have 3 different things in each box because you have something like vocabulary and you've listed using or you've used a list to describe some of those things. So there's 2 options. When you want to get rid of one of these word boxes, when you click on it, there's a trash can that shows up, so we can just throw it in the trash. The other thing you can do is click in the middle and just drag it off our page. Poof, it's gone. There it goes. Okay. Now, these headings, you'll notice, friends, you can't actually change these or move them around. They have to stay put. But any of the word boxes, you can click in, you can add to them, you can change the color. We could even come up to the toolbar here at the top and we can change the font that it is. Oh, there we go. That's like bubble art. There we go. But we don't want to see any boxes left with just the word. We want to replace them, or if in the case of like we've got the list below, we'll actually just delete the box if we don't need it anymore. Okay, let's keep adding. Oh, you know something? I didn't do this, but I bet you there's some students in our school division who worked on their French skills this year. Let's add that in here.
Avec
Ooh.
Madame Platt.
So I'm not one of those.
Madame Platt a enseigné mes enfants quand
Oh,
ils étaient
can you see,
à
friends?
la
I
maternelle.
typed in the word French and French fries is the second picture that came up, but that's not what I'm thinking. So I think I'm going to add this cute little bonjour. I like that to my reflection page. All right.
Well, you know,
Ooh, now
Mrs.
go
Nixon,
ahead, Miss Cannikins.
that's a good reminder that when we're searching for elements or pictures or icons, that we don't always want to pick the first one that it gives us, just like when we're searching for something on the internet. So it's important to take a look and find the one that is the best, not the one that's first.
You're absolutely right, Mrs. Cannikins. Now, you'll notice here, friends, if you're looking, the word French is the word that's in front, and our element I just added, bonjour, is in behind. So I'm going to show you how to change the placement or the layer of these elements. So I'm going to work with the bonjour. I've got the purple box around it. I'm going to come up here to my toolbar where it says position. I'm going to click on position, and you'll notice this pop up on the left-hand side. I'm going to click on layers. And you can see then every single thing on our page is listed here. But I can also click on position. Whoops. There we go. Arrange. And I can just quickly click on to front. Ooh, I think I kind of like that. So bonjour is in front of French, but we can see French loud and clear in behind. What do you think, Mrs. Cannikins? So there's two choices. We can click on this position tab at the top.
Looks good.
Oops. Click on position at the top. We can quickly click on to front or to the back. Ooh, it disappeared. Or we can click on layers and we can actually drag them into the spot we want them to be. So we can click it and then just drag.
So, Mrs. Nixdorf, why don't you show us with the fractions? If you put move your can you move your fraction? Show us with the dragging how you would move that in front of Fact Master. If you want to.
Okay, so well, we can see here it's not even close to my fraction master. It should be say fraction master. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, so it's not even close and it's way down here. So we're going to bring this up close to our fraction master word. So that's just click and drag. But now I still have this position tab, so I can either drag it into a different spot or layer, or I can quickly use the arrange and just click on to front. And so now if I drag this over, it's in front of our fraction master. I don't think that's very good. We can't see it very well, but I could use the transparency tool. So my fraction element is highlighted. I'm going to click on this transparency tool in the top toolbar, and I can drag to make this become transparent. Ooh, look at that. Maybe that'll work.
That's another great skill to learn while we're learning about transparency and resizing and layering, all really important skills that, did you know that these things work? Well, some of them work in Google Slides. Certainly they all work in Canva. So there's lots of different places that we can use
now,
these skills.
Sorry, Mrs. Cannikins. At the beginning, we shared our project with our teacher, but if we have any Seesaw users in our calls, we can click on this share tab. And when this pop-up window comes up, we can click on copy to clipboard. And so what copy to clipboard does is makes a picture copied to our clipboard of what we see here. So I know we're not quite finished. So this is a good time to pause, finish what you've got done, and then you can come back to these instructions when you're finished. So we're going to click on copy to clipboard. We'll wait for it to finish doing its magic. we'll click on copy to clipboard. And if I pop in over here, I'm going to have to change how I'm sharing here, friends. Just give me one quick second. There we go. We can pop over to our Seesaw class, and I can click on this green plus, add to my journal. Now, we always like to recommend that we use drawing canvas, so we've got lots of options available to us. And I'm going to use that keyboard shortcut again, Control V. Watch this. My whole year-end reflection just pasted into Seesaw like an image. And I could add a little writing and text, use a text box if I wanted to, and add some information so that it didn't seem so blank on the page. But I think just to show you, friends, today, I'm going to click on the green arrow. Oops. And I'm going to turn it in. There we go. Okay, I'm going to head back over here to our Canva project, friends. Sure I've got the right one going there. Okay, that looks about right, don't you think?
Yeah, I think we've got your Canvas screen because copy to clipboard is still open. So that's the one you just were at.
Okay, perfect.
Take us home here, Mrs. Nixdorf.
Well, teachers, if you were interested to have your students turn this into Google Classroom, you would need to first make an assignment for them to do that too. So it's probably best at this point that you just use that plus, and they've shared it with you. That way, if you'd like to be able to download them and print, friends, you can also click on share and you can download. A project like this, I usually recommend that we use a PDF standard. Now, we probably don't need that second page, so I'm just going to check the box for current page and then click done, and then you can click download. And that should, friends, automatically go to your drive. So you've got it shared that way. So then you could turn it into your teacher in another way if they wanted you to turn it in multiple ways. So friends, we have a year-end reflection here that has lots of different words that we've added and some elements to complement those descriptors or adjectives about our year at school.
All right, so we are going to just jump over to, let's see, we're going to jump over here to finish up. So we just had our Canva, and you can catch that on YouTube. So by this afternoon or tomorrow, if you want to rewatch or share that with some friends, that will be on YouTube. And then we also have Seesaw. Now, Mrs. Nixdorf took us to Seesaw, but a few days ago, we did a whole lesson in Seesaw. So you can do something somewhat similar to what we did today, but in Seesaw, if you want to practice your Seesaw skills and something a little different, we created a beautiful summer ladybug. We learned all sorts of different skills, including some polyline skills. Oh, Miss Weimer's class learned some of that earlier in the year, how to change the background, all sorts of things. And so that's also in our YouTube playlist. So teachers, if you go to bit.ly/PRPS in capitals and then the word co-taught, you will find a whole bunch of different co-taught lessons that we have done for students in Prairie Rose, Canva, slides, even one on Seesaw, all sorts of different places. Okay, anything you'd like to add, Ms. Nixdorf, while we sign off?
I don't think so. I think we've covered quite a bit today.
Okay. All right, everybody. Have fun designing. Let us know how it goes. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.